I wanted to get on here real quick and talk to you guys about a man's word and how important that is. First off, let's get into it, right? A man's word is important because when you do not choose and say and act on the same decision, you lose confidence in yourself and it actually builds up over time. This confidence that you're trying to crack the code on, this energy that you're trying to feel, this new version of yourself that you're trying to get to, all these unlocks, making new money, trying to get into shape because you can't buy a six-pack, right? You actually have to apply discipline. The reason why most guys lose trust or lose faith in their goal-based thinking is because they actually don't have a clear enough decision and they don't hold themselves accountable to their word. They don't even create depth in their word, in their bond to themselves, because that's really what it is. Your word is your bond. And if you can't create depth around that, into that decision, and that decision is not the same as it was from thinking to planning to executing, if that is not the same decision that you can stick to and you can act on throughout all those phases, then you will create momentum against yourself. You create momentum against yourself whenever you slack on following and, following through with your word. When you fail to follow through on your word, you build up those little data points across time, those little words in your brain. Creates an excessive amount of trash in your brain. Trash that you tried to recycle because you didn't follow through on, and that trash builds up over time. There's only really two ways to look at this. Either you throw it all out and restart, or you really try to pick apart the trash and say, why did I throw it out? Why did I even give up on it in the first place? It's so much easier to throw it out. So much easier to start over. Everybody wants to just, forget about it, bro, just move on. Well, yeah, move on, but for what? And to what? So one of the things that I found out was along the way into entrepreneurism, you can't have any sort of second guessing. You cannot second guess your word. If you say something and you make a plan on it, you've already decided in your mind that it's going to happen. You just want to become comfortable with how it's going to work out. And the truth is, dude, if you're just going to spend your time trying to get comfortable on how your decision is going to work out, you're going to lose track of time. And that time is where we start to second guess ourselves. That time that it took to reach the goal. And then when you get to the goal, guess what? It only ever ends up being like 80, 90% of what you wanted. Well, you could look at it like, yeah, you know what, 80, 90%, that's better than zero. For sure. But if every goal is like that, that little 20% is still sticking around and we never look at it and try to improve on it, then we're only ever going to reach 80% of our goals every single time. We're only going to be 80% of our word every single time. And if that's cool with you, that's great. But for me, I know that 20% builds up over time. And I'm not saying to be perfect. I'm not saying 100%, but I'm saying, could you get 1% better? Could you get 5% better on your word? Because look, here's the thing. When you let that 20%, that 30% fall off and you just get a C for test, you're looking at it like it's a have to. You're looking at it like, oh, if I don't do this, this won't happen. You should be wanting to take the hard route. It's why you set yourself apart. That's why you made the decision to have that hot take on whatever subject matter you're talking about, whatever sort of influence you're bringing onto the industry that you work in. If you know that there's value in your words and you were to go and present that to a room full of people, you know that truthfully, you want everybody to agree with you. You know that like you want to get in shape, you want to have more confidence, you want your wife or your kids to stop reacting to everything around them. Well, that starts with you. That starts with you. You got to hold true to your word. If you don't hold true to your word, you lose confidence in you. Screw what everybody else thinks. It's not up to other people's expectations of you that should push you forward. Shouldn't wait until somebody expects you to do better for yourself. You should want that for yourself. And if you start saying that, you're speaking it into action, and the good men, the good friends, the brothers, they will hold you accountable. People that really care about you reaching your fullest potential, whenever you speak on your word, will get upset because you are getting in your own way. And you're creating the enemy combatant of confidence, the enemy combatant of flow state, of reaching your fullest potential. Go on, continue and make these false claims. Go on and continue and make judgments of others. Go on and continue and make delusional takes on politics and how the world is treating everybody else, and yourself included. But if you're going to do that, you might as well stick to what you're saying instead of making liars out of your expectations for others. It only makes sense to follow suit on your word. It only benefits. And to those that it crushes are the weak people that will never rise up for themselves. They will never speak out for the truth. They will never stick up for you. Those people don't matter. Their expectations don't matter. And whenever you start doing good and you say, oh, well, I'm doing it in spite of. Well, if you're doing it in spite of, I'm going to tell you very, very quickly that this game is not for you. This life of trying to be a leader, it's not about trying. It's about doing. And you can't do while you're thinking of, well, I need to try to go to the gym. I need to try to change my life. I need to make an attempt. No. You need to get clear on your decision. It has to be decided that it is important to you. You have to build up the pain around what would happen if you don't. So get clear on your word and be a man about it. Your yes should be a yes and your no should be a no. I mean, it's quite simple. If you can't make it, don't just say, I'll let you know. If you don't know what time you're going to be free, just say, let me figure that out and I will get back to you in 48 hours. If you're going to plan a date with somebody, don't just sit there and create a false delusional sense that you might show up. It might be important to you. Who is going to take you seriously? Are you going to take yourself seriously and stop creating these versions of yourself that don't meet the expectation you started out with? It's that simple. Quit lying to yourself. Quit lying to yourself. Bring up truth and only truth. And when you fail, and if you even fail, then you can make the correction. But stop worrying about failure. Stop worrying about getting an O or maybe it's just not working out the way that you expected. Oh, this is going to go this way and that's going to go this. Stop. We got to stop being in our own heads. Let's start talking about our ideas and our beliefs and sharing that so we can be held accountable to what our goals might be in urgency too, because time creates distance between you and the version of yourself you want to become. And that time is what builds the momentum against you. So get after it. Make a promise to yourself. And the next time you give your word to somebody, remember, you're only lying to yourself whenever you don't follow suit. So are you going to let that build momentum against your confidence, against your purpose, against the mission that you are on? Figure out your path, bro. Let's get to it.